Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we talk all things reality TV or whatever. As you see, we are joined by the wonderful Diamond. And today we are going to be discussing the Big Brother live feeds or whatever. Diamond, how you doing today, dog?
I'm doing wonderful. Not having an attachment to this season has been very great.
Mm-hmm.
No, literally.
I've been saying the same thing. Like I really only care about Taylor. So as long as she's doing good, I'm doing good. I don't care who goes home.
Exactly.
I don't care who wins. If Taylor's safe, then we're good.
Look, as long as she makes it to the jury, like going into the season, I didn't see her like making it all the way to the end, sadly. But like, I mean, I'm always gonna hope, obviously. But I was like, I just need to get my girl to jury.
Mm-hmm.
Every week has been a
That's
prayer.
always the pray. That's always the thing. Ever since BB17 with Davon, I was like, Davon, Jerry, come on, get the jury. Like, at least get the jury.
You have to be in jury. Like,
when BB18 happened and she at least got that, like, boom, we good. She can go home next. I don't care.
No, I think I watched Davon 1. I watched it because I'm obviously not really like a stan.
Mm-hmm.
I watched her on feeds, BB22. I said, oh. How y'all was doing that?
It was hard.
That's crazy.
It was hard. I was stressed out every single week.
God damn. All right, let's get into not Jesus. Okay, let's get into the week or whatever.
All right, at the top as usual.
Mother at the top and the bums on the bottom as per. We're going to just go through the week and talk about what's going on in the house this week. So, last week we left off with Amira getting blindsided. The girls were shook, panicking. And Diamond, if you ever want to chime in and say something, just chime in and say something. Shit, cut me off. But the girls were shook, right? After the girls got shook, Alyssa, Jasmine, Daniel, Nicole, and somebody else, Indy, was scrambling, panicking, and then everybody else, of course, was in the Leftovers Alliance. We get to the HOH competition, and Monty wins the HOH. Gladly. Whew, child.
I was so happy.
So Monty wins HOH, and the discussions about the target this week arise. So initially, Kyle was kind of pushing the fact that Alyssa could go, and that Alyssa and Indy could be the nominees, and it can just stay the same, and then Alyssa could be the one who goes home.
Mm-hmm. This was when Kyle was in his right mind. I don't know what.
This is when Kyle was doing what he needed to do.
No, because you know what? He tried to protect the Alliance from himself. Like, he knew himself.
Mm-hmm. He knew he was going to start playing.
That's why I can't, like, be too mad, because he tried.
Yeah. And he was warning us. He said, y'all, look, I'm horny. Like, it's get in there, y'all.
I've never seen, and you know, I don't watch a lot of Big Brother, unfortunately. Well, fortunately. I've never seen anybody in the DR, a white showman, say, I'm just horny.
Mm-hmm.
That just don't happen.
Like, this is on the CBS. This is a family network.
Literally.
Not Paramount. This CBS, not the app.
Like, this was sponsored, okay?
No, literally. So this man, he was warning the girls. He was like, let's get a list out now. Let's go ahead and get a list out now.
And Monty started playing the outside.
Because I want to get back.
It's Joseph's fault, though. Let's really be honest.
Literally, Joseph and Monty.
What was Joseph doing?
Oh,
he kept bringing it up. Because one thing about Joseph, he kept mentioning it. Alyssa gotta go. I don't know about what you're gonna do.
Beginning of the week, when Kyle was pushing it, Joseph was like, nah.
Yeah, let's get out. He
like,
initially wanted to get out Nicole. Monty and Joseph were like, let's get out Nicole instead, maybe a little bit. And it's like,
that's why Kyle is really feeling like he at the bottom now, because beginning of the week, he told hoes, let's go easy this week. Let's put Indy and Alyssa up, get one of them out. Probably Alyssa. She's way more of a social threat than Indy. And by social threat, he meant a threat to him. And he's not.
No, because he literally created this whole entire game for Alyssa that she did not have. Oh yeah, she's gonna be able to pull in Taylor and Michael. And Alyssa do any of that?
He had. Alyssa was the new Tiff. Alyssa was the new Carol.
He thought this was Alyssa Mitchell. He thought this was Alyssa Lopez on the Challenge USA. No, this is
Shut up. No, this is Alyssa. I don't even know her last name, child. So Alyssa, initially, Kyle was trying to push Alyssa because he was getting scared, y'all. And Monty and Joseph were like, Nicole? Maybe Nicole. And so that was kind of the issue going on, but really Monty was an HOH, so we kind of knew that it was going to lean towards backdooring Nicole at the end of the day, right? So the week starts accumulated. As the week is accumulating, we see that Kyle is starting to give in to Alyssa a little bit. It's definitely giving, who I'm telling y'all need to get her out now. But the plan has now been instated that we're going to just go ahead and backdoor Nicole. Period. At that point. So, damn, they went back and forth. So at that point, they were going to backdoor Nicole. Then we got to the veto, and the veto was won by Daniel and Kyle. Daniel and Kyle won the veto, and it's like, oh, damn, Daniel is now involved in this. He's probably going to not use or woo. So can we even do it? So then we got to the night before the veto ceremony. All of the leftovers, minus Kyle, are in the HOH room, and they are discussing what exactly is the best thing for the alliance. And this kind of stems from the fact that Michael and Brittany feel like they need Indy to stay and choose to join their team so that they don't get targeted next week by the other side, right? That's a lot of assuming, because who said Indy was going to join y'all? Who said who said y'all were even going to be the final nominees?
Did they not get confirmation that Indy wanted to join them?
I don't think they asked her. I think they were just like.
I thought who said that Indy would join? I think Mike. That
from what I saw,
Mike's been working on Indy this week.
Okay,
a lot.
So they were assuming.
I swear I did not see, because the last thing I saw from Indy is that she hated Brittany, so that's why I was just like,
but that's why you
choose
keep
them.
up with them, because you hate them. If you're on the block next to them, they go home.
So they think that the best thing is for Alyssa to go so that Indy can join Michael and Brittany, so that the alliance has no chance at going home next week.
Yes.
So they're in the HOH room, and they basically, Michael and Brittany are convincing the other members of the leftovers minus Kyle that, okay, we're just going to take out Alyssa. So this is what they decide on. Then Kyle walks up. And when Kyle walks up, they letting him know, like, babe, you remember when you said Alyssa can go? Alyssa can go.
And this is a big issue for Kyle, because he had already promised Alyssa up and down that he is going to use the veto. Like, you are good this week. Like, you are 100% safe.
They let that boy make that promise and get close to that girl. And let me tell you why this Alyssa plan should have been the main plan going into this week.
Ooh, eat it up.
It should have been planned.
Period.
There's a number of reasons, but I think the most important reason is you're still trying to hide your alliance.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're still trying to hide your alliance. At the end of the day, they halfway got away with murder last week because these people are just so dumb and still hyper focused on Taylor. So they've been able to have a little slack, but they've been hanging out together. But now they're gonna have, with this vote, it's gonna fully expose everybody, right?
That's true.
And even if you don't get Alyssa out, you can get Indy getting out. Getting Indy out was an easy thing, but it keeps Taylor off the block. Trust is there. Everybody, because mind you, this is an alliance that was built last week based off feeling like on the outsiders. Well, guess what? They have no established trust. That was the first time they voted together. So usually when you get your first HOH, that's when you prove like this is a legitimate alliance, right?
Exactly.
And so putting one of your alliance members on the block, even though you have the votes, slimly have the votes, it's still like a big risk, right? When you want to solidify an alliance.
Yeah, I agree. I see what you're saying. And that's kind of what they were saying too. They were like, it's easy to hide the alliance if Nicole and Daniel aren't suspicious of us, which is why it's like, maybe we should just go with getting out Alyssa. And it's true, because as they were planning on backdooring Nicole and Daniel were like, they planning on backdooring Nicole. So it's clearly that the six of them are together because they were planning on backdooring us. Why would they do that if they didn't have da-da-da-da? And they are figuring out, trying with Kyle, figuring out Kyle's alliance. And basically the six of the people.
Plan, it wouldn't even matter, though, because if they have Indy stuck, Indy's gonna have to join. I think they will either be in the same position or they'll get lucky and they'll have the checkmate move of her joining Mike and Brittany, because Indy only has a couple of choices, right? She's gonna either join Daniel and Cal, which she's not gonna want to do. Indy, like, she's just not gonna want to do that, or she's gonna join
Jasmine and Turner,
Taylor, or Mike and Brittany. Mike is a veto winner. The odds of her joining a veto winner and someone
I didn't think about that.
That's hated around the house like Brittany, because that's some added layer of protection. Because remember, she's on the other side of the house, so she doesn't know about this. The leftovers, she doesn't know that people have Brittany's back. So in Indy's mind, all the girls are talking shit about her. She must be at the bottom of the house. You know what I'm saying? So it was a higher chance that Indy joined Mike and Britt than people let on, right? So and if she would have joined Mike and Britt, that's checkmate, because it doesn't matter if Nicole or Daniel figured everything out and they knew all the plans and knew everybody was, and they won HOH, right? It didn't matter, because if they put up,
they were insulated.
They always had the numbers. So that's why the Alyssa plan was the best plan, and I wish we had seen that. They did see it. Mike and Britt knew this whole week. That's what bugged me.
But they didn't push it.
Balls.
Yep.
And I had to 29 and drink some wine.
Right.
Really for them.
I think that's a bit, because you mentioned it. Like, honestly, and I was thinking this, like, this week kind of going in, like, they're playing the cookout game, but they're not actually doing the strategy. They don't have a pawn system. So it's getting to the point to where when they touch jury and this little twist ends and they can put up two people, if Jasmine bumleg ass get an HOH, if Alyssa get an HOH, if Indy get an HOH, they're going to just put two of y'all up. And that's something that Kyle is realizing and Kyle is trying to build up against, because everyone else kind of like, oh, well, we're just going to be good until we get the jury. No, babe. All of them know y'all are working together at this point.
Literally. It's looking bad for them. Ooh.
Exactly.
So after they decided to go after Alyssa and Indy, the plan was that Kyle was going to try to convince Daniel to not use the veto in order for them to just settle on this plan.
He was supposed to do this in a day.
A few hours. Closer.
After a week of Kyle.
Let him get closer.
Literally to Alyssa. He's on the border.
Joseph, you're out here closing doors and locking them in rooms, sir. And now you're upset that they're making out.
Like,
their thing.
And he was supposed to convince this man within a few hours before the meeting that he has to change the entire plan.
Kyle didn't go to sleep. I was reading updates. I'm waking up 7 o'clock in the morning my time, which is BB time. And I'm seeing Kyle is still awake, staring at the ceiling.
Literally.
And y'all wonder why he manic right now.
Oh my God. So this man, so he talks to Daniel, and basically Daniel, erratic ass, he is just, they're all together, and it's the 6 of them, and Kyle, we need you, and we're gonna pull in, we already got Jasmine, Indy, and Alyssa on lock. They're never voting out Nicole, and we're them girls, and we got the votes, and so we just finna see what Monty say, and we're gonna play in Monty's face when we talk to Monty, because whatever he say gonna be some bullshit. So, child!
I'm sorry. I know what happened, but it's just hearing it. Every time I hear it, it's the dumbest shit, because you know for a fact that there's at least 5 votes against you.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Knowing that there's 5 solidified votes against you.
His thought process, he literally said, no matter what, I want to protect Nicole. And he literally put her in the most vulnerable position.
No, Terrence
after being taught. Okay.
Terrence ate him up. He said, if you wanted to protect Nicole, why did you use veto?
Literally. Okay, so Daniel's idea is that the 6 is that Brittany, Michael, Turner, Monty, Joseph, and Taylor are in a 6-person alliance, and that's it, minus Kyle, which Kyle is actually in the alliance.
He's telling this to Kyle,
who created it, and he's saying
the charges. You realize this, right?
Literally. So he's saying that the rest of them need to work together. Everybody else other than those 6 people. And according to that, they would have the numbers. However, that's not the reality of it all. So they finally, Daniel and Nicole, talked to Monty. And Monty has decided that he doesn't want Daniel to use the veto. He doesn't want to backdoor Nicole no more. So Monty is giving information to Daniel and Nicole to influence them to not use the veto. So Monty says, Jasmine, Indy, and Alyssa have approached me multiple times this week saying Nicole can go. Nicole definitely might get evicted if she's on the block and woo. And this information is not necessarily false because the girls were saying that. The girls were literally saying that. So basically, after Monty lays out a lot of information, basically indicating if Nicole is on the block, she's going home, so don't use the veto. Daniel and Nicole, dumbass, leaves the room, goes to their separate room, and they say, he lies straight to our face. We got the girls on lock, and I'm using this fucking veto. I'm going to use this. I'm getting you on. You're going to be on that block. I don't care what's going to happen. You're going to be a final nominee. Period. Like, what?
This is the first time colorism is working for BB Twitter because y'all dummies wanted Nicole out this week, and I'm like, y'all dumb. This is not even a good. This is not the best move, number wives, people. No one listened, but y'all got what y'all wanted. Shout out to colorism because the reason why Monty, if Kyle would have told him that shit, they would have believed everything.
Literally, and also too, like I just feel like. I don't know. I just like a lot of people have a lot of influence in these situations where they're just.
I'm eating hot fries.
But a lot of people have influence in the situation that's just not being used. I feel like if they had enacted this plan way before, like mentioned, like Michael and Brittany, like these are things that could have actually been accomplished correctly. It's just you allow these connections you would build, you allow these promises to be made, and it's like the gag is, it's not like y'all not talk, like the cookout didn't talk at all for like days, really. Y'all talk every single night, getting caught, busted, and y'all still can't get the plans together.
Literally,
people were operating under revenge.
Yep.
It's a lot going on.
And the thing is, going into the week, they had already planned that Alyssa should go. Like that was kind of like the consensus. And then as soon as it started, Nicole started to piss people off.
Yeah.
And that's when they flipped back and they stuck with it. And I'm like, no, they're gonna obviously wake up and think and talk again. Nope, they just got less and less sleep because they're up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning trying to meet with the Alliance. Thank you.
Yeah.
And now nobody got sleep. Everybody's sleep deprived and everybody's upset and angry. And they're just the game decisions from everybody, Taylor included. I feel like these last 24 hours have been horrendous.
Yeah, 100%. I've been saying that like they've had this sense of comfortability and safety after forming this group. And I think they felt like, oh, we're together now. We're just good. Like we don't have to do anything else. It's just not good. Like, for example, the whole I'm going to throw my allies under the bus strategy only works if you're actively using these people as pawns. You're just making yourself a target. Like, jury is a week away, babe, and now you have people targeting you for reasons that aren't true because y'all are just throwing each other all under the bus. It's not making any sense. So literally going into the veto ceremony, because this plan was created so last minute and so out of the blue, half the Alliance did not even know that Nicole and Taylor are still going up, Taylor included.
Literally.
So they literally come back and the girls are gagged.
You know, it's really production being messy. It's like, my gosh, as soon as Kyle hit the room and said to Monty, oh, he's 100% using that damn veto, the feed test. I'm like, you whores.
Literally.
That was very early too.
It
was early.
They wanted that showmance in that house and they wanted Nicole out because think about it. That's good TV.
Yeah, well, as they think.
That's good TV. It's not good gameplay, but it's good TV. You use your own veto.
Oh, that moment.
Your final 2. That's like, that's, you know.
I was just saying the showmance is good TV. I said, no.
Real, real dumb shit that we love to watch as viewers. So that's
so dumbass Daniel uses the veto. And dumbass Nicole is sitting there celebrating, yes, I'm on the block. We got this on lock.
They think they outsmarted like the Matrix. Like they think they figured out Tiffany's master plan. Like they no, we have the votes. Like literally, they didn't even realize it could tie until after she was nominated.
In their mind, by one vote.
They were counting. I was getting so frustrated. I'm at work. I'm looking at the updates on my phone. People were sending me. And I'm getting even more and more frustrated because I'm like, Kyle is not pushing hard because he's not trying to go back on his damn word to his damn showmance. But he's not fighting it. He's letting him think it out, count the votes. Like, you got new information. Let's go think through it.
Sound it out.
For whatever you are down for. He counts the votes out, and I'm like, you can't see that that's 5 votes against you. That's everybody in that room working together. And
literally.
And he's like, I don't know if I have Terrence vote. And then I've also been saying this too, like, how all of a sudden do you think Kyle is not working with this boy? You know, Pose Pack is a thing. Y'all know Kyle and Monty have been close since day one. Now all of a sudden that y'all are festies, besties, you and him are actual like, Daniel, make it make sense. So it's very sad.
Like their little alliance that they have with Paloma, 100%, and he knows about all of those damn lines. And he didn't want to believe it, even when Nicole, and I know I tweeted this, even when Nicole told him that she just had Indy go up there and spy on a room, like during the day, everybody was in the HOH room. I think it was Brittany, Michael, Monty. And she said when they went up there to spy, Kyle was there too. So probably getting him. And he was like, I gotta talk to Kyle about what the conversation was.
Like he's really running this boy. It is like
talk to him what he's conspiring about.
Any attention that Dale gets from a man, he will take that and run with it. When Monty talked to him for the first time, he said, "Oh, I hate Taylor now, and everything Monty's saying is correct. And oh my God, let me get on my knees." Like, this man loves men. He loves men.
You know, he's not a cool guy.
He's a very, I said it last podcast, he's a very insecure man. Very insecure. He has no personality of his own.
The reason why the Taylor hate could be so strong and last for so long is just this is the most insecure cast I've ever seen.
For real.
Very bitter.
This
is going to be a very bitter jury.
But I don't blame him because, you know, strict religious backgrounds really make it really hard for you to, like, come into your own. But really, everybody, even people in Leftovers, well, especially people in everybody's
insecure and weak.
Except for Turner and Taylor. I promise you, Turner and Taylor are the only ones.
I don't know about that white man.
See, Turner knows his role. Like, he knows his status in life.
He does know his place at the bottom.
He's like himself. Like, he's not the best. Like, sometimes he's not his best self or sounds best, but he knows. But he was mad at Taylor from some petty teenage shit, and his best friends was telling him that to hate Taylor. He was mad at Taylor because Taylor told him to wash the dishes.
You know, he was mad because she told him to clean.
Clean yourself. Clean the food.
College age, like he's like, you know, a little asshole. She told him to clean.
Not dominant.
Insecure with others.
So insecure in himself. He's just, you know, he's just young and dumb.
Insecure with the other people.
But everybody else?
Yeah. Well, but that's why I said, like, I was trying to think, like, who needs to go pre-jury that's gonna be so anti-Taylor? But I'm like, we don't have enough spots. We need a shorter jury at this point because
we would need a jury.
I don't want none of them in jury. I don't want Indy, Jasmine, none of these hating ass bitches. No,
that's the problem. The whole cast were hating ass bitches. That's what I said. Let me just give my girl to jury.
Like, honestly,
I need her to, like, I think Taylor's purpose this season is to go out and spread the word and, like, be a good, like, she has the BB platform now, so now she can really talk about those things that I feel like the Cookout didn't really get to talk about after post show. Like, all those, like, she could talk about colorism way more. Yeah, she's very articulate as well, and she has that pedigree with her pageant background. She's going to be able to be a really big voice, I think, in the Black BB community, especially. And she's gonna have the platform to go on any show she wants and address these things, especially with Black women specifically. So I think that's just really her purpose this season. I think everybody just has a purpose. I think her purpose this season is for that, and that's why I'm like, she's making it to jury. I don't care. I was saying this on Paloma's week, okay? I was like, look, that girl's going crazy. She's manic. Let me bring attention to this. Get her out of here. I say God Nebuchadnezzar her.
Something in my soul told me. Something in my soul told me that Taylor was not going home week one. I just knew she was not going home week one.
Too. So Taylor was either going to win that comp for the twist, because Alyssa's easy to beat.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's the thing. Paloma crazy ass should have quit week 2, so Alyssa could have been out week 1 by Taylor.
and we would be eating.
But honestly, I think that was an interesting point you said too, because you know, the cookout coming out, it was almost like Obama winning, right? It was like,
Yeah.
oh, racism is over. And everyone also ignored some of the problematic things that were happening specifically with Oz in that situation. And now with this situation, it's like Taylor has come out with so many negative experiences, but also doing really good in the game. People are going to want to listen to what she has to say. So honestly, she is in a very interesting position to get Gardner fired. So let's make it happen, Taylor.
100%. 100,000%. Like, I think, especially with, okay, you know, colorism, I feel like white people don't really know about it that as much.
At all.
So I
Very
think
uneducated.
when they did the 50% POCs, they tried to do the most white bread version of it, where they go from like PWIs and they're, you know, getting the lighter.
Let's make sure they have a degree of this caliber.
Yeah, we don't have dark POCs in this cast at all. Like, at all. I don't care what race the POC is. They're not dark. Everybody is so light. So they really, you know, overlooked the aspect of colorism. And, you know, until you have the only dark-skinned women in the house getting bullied, right? And it's and everybody's talking about it. It's on numerous media outlets.
Blogs.
Yep.
And throughout Big Brother, like you said, Ozza last year, there's every time, and there's always one dark-skinned Black woman. If there's going to be Black women, it's going to be one dark-skinned Black woman. She's going to have to defend the world for herself. Last season, Ozza had 2 other Black women with her and still experienced colorism.
Yep.
You know, literally. And Kimmy, we know about Kimmy's situation. So I feel like dark-skinned Black women specifically have been the most abused in regards to racism.
Definitely.
Black women, like, we face the most. I think Taylor is just, she's going to have that experience. And she's gonna have the clout, okay? And she's one of those good people that doesn't need clout from other BB alums, problematic BB alums. So she can push all that aside because she already had kind of a platform before going into the show. So she's gonna be talking her shit, and I'm gonna be here for it. And I think she's gonna make a big difference. I think next season they're gonna have to make some serious changes. It's gonna be a dark-skinned Black woman season next season, baby.
I want at least 5 next season. At least 5. I don't care.
At least 5. The fuck. So,
and if it's not, I'm turning that shit off.
Right. We won't be watching. We won't be tuning in. Period. Okay.
That's the year 2.
To wrap this week up, basically hopping off of the Colorism Act, Kyle is now leaning towards what's going to happen next week. And just to like finish it up, now we know Nicole is probably going to be, well, Nicole is going home. But Nicole is going home. She's the final nominee. She's out. And now people in the leftovers, specifically Kyle, he is assuming that Joseph, Monty, and Taylor, the coloreds of the leftovers, are going to work together. And so he feels like the other members of the leftovers, who just so happen to not be brown, are needing to work together in, I guess...
That's Taylor's fault, though.
And
Taylor keeps talking about representation and wanting a woman.
She do talk about that.
Shut up. She keeps saying it.
So he has made he's formed this new group, and this new group is slightly vaguely forming, and we'll see how that goes next week. Period.
Yeah.
Now we can get into the race.
The same people, right? In his group.
Black
and Brittany.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so we got the ratings. The top is from last week, week 3. This is how we had them girls rated. The bottom is from this week or whatever. We're just going to go through each player, give them each a rating, and then the average will be shown at the bottom or whatever per. We are first going to start with Ameerah as an overall player. So, Diamante, if you would like to start us off, how do you feel about Ameerah as an overall Big Brother player?
Strategy-wise, pretty solid. Her biggest issue was her social game. She did not handle the boys with care, and that's the only reason why she went home when she did. I think she would have been fierce. She didn't have tact. She lacked tact, and you need that in a game like Big Brother.
That's definitely
so true. I will give her a 5.
Okay.
I'm being fair with my ratings. I see you got Terrence ads. Gave him a 1.5.
He deserved. He deserved.
I know we get to it because y'all ain't right.
We drag.
I actually agree about Ameerah. I really do. And honestly, I'm gonna give Ameerah a 6. I feel like yes, she went home second. Child third, but I do feel like a part of it was a little bit the twist. I think Nicole ass would have been out had the twist not been in effect, because they wouldn't have needed Taylor's vote and with all that situation that happened. I think that Amira in a different season could have easily kind of made it to jury. I also think that it's a rare occasion when the house kind of flips on its ass like this. This does not usually happen. And I feel like those are just certain things that it's kind of like, this isn't every Big Brother season. If Amira had played any season before this, she probably would have made it to the end of the game.
Paloma leaving was really hard for her too, because Paloma was the social butterfly.
Exactly.
The plans.
Exactly.
She really needed Paloma. Like when she was crying with Kyle or whatever, saying she needed Paloma. Yeah.
So I'll just settle on the 6. I feel like it's she's not a bad player at all. I think she's a good player. She just has like specific faults.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with the 5 as well, because I feel like even with the twist kind of scoring her up, it's like her biggest issue was losing Kyle and Monte, and she only lost Kyle and Monte because her game started to be so obvious. She stopped talking to them as allies, and then the other people she was not in the alliance with, like Turner, the person who got her out, she told the week before, like, we don't talk game. Like, baby girl, it's just like, I think even with the twist in the whole effed up situation she was in, if she did not go around doing those things, she still could have stayed next to Terrence. That's the gag. Like, a lot of that was her own doing. However, I do think she's a pretty good player. I would say I hope to see her again, but they are not bringing her colorist ass back. So
she can definitely stay where she's at.
She can go on like a harder show, like the Challenge USA, where you don't have to Survivor. They don't care about like a lot of social cues.
But see, my thing is, I'm scared that they are now signing these girls, you know, for like double contract for the Challenge USA, and I don't need her hating on Taylor on the Challenge USA too. Because you know it's gonna happen.
But she don't look at. Is she athletic?
Amira,
she looks 17 like me, but she 31.
So Alyssa, I'm gonna start first with Alyssa. This girl, child, this girl don't have noun game other than Kyle and his wee wee. It's kind of weird, but we move. I don't think Alyssa is doing
grab, you know.
Child, I don't know.
That we.
When it comes to gameplay, I don't think Alyssa is doing good at all. She isn't necessarily focusing on creating an alliance with Jasmine, Indy, Nicole, Daniel, which is what she needs to do. She's over here bashing Daniel and Nicole, which are 2 people who she low-key needs in the game. She's not in, what the fuck is it called? The Leftovers at all. The people in the Leftovers are willing to target her. She would have went home this week had Daniel not been a dumbass. Imagine if Daniel was not a dumbass. Like, she would literally be out of the game. So it's really hard for me to give her any rating above anything because she literally was supposed to go home this week. They had decided, Buki. Daniel is just dumb. You're welcome. I don't know. It was bad for her. So I'm going to give her, I gave her a 2 last week. I'm going to give her a 1.5. 1.5. And I'm gonna do it like that. Oh yeah, Demonte, we do 0.5s. Don't be hitting that 0.321 though. But that 5. All right. What you think?
A 1 for me, no 0.5 needed. Thank you.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Now leaf in the cap for the white woman.
I am not for the cap for the white woman. She's also a 1 for me as well. I mean, because
and I'll bring it down to a 1 for me. I was being real nice.
You really have to consider she is the only reason why she's in this position. If it wasn't for her literally spilling her entire game as well as her allies' games,
she would not change my -1 because you woke that up.
No.
Yeah, -1.
We ain't doing negative. We gonna keep it at a 1. You can do 0. You can do 0. We do zeros over here.
0.
Damn.
I forgot. The whole reason why she almost went home was because she spilled about the leftovers.
Bro, she literally created the leftovers when you think about it. Like, she's the reason. They had all the information.
Wait, it's a 0.5, right? Move it down. No, she was going home.
Game, you're a pretty white woman on Big Brother. What a dork that likes you, and you are still excluded from the majority alliance. Oh my god!
Because we said these Caucasian women, these just pretty white girls, the Stephanies, the JC Lynn's, the Babs, you know.
Because at least JC Lynn got her ass off the block by herself.
I will say that. But it's gonna take more than just sitting there being pretty and sucking some.
Ooh. So to clarify, I have moved her down to a 0.5. Demonte has her at a 0, and Lee has her at a generous 1. We will be moving on to to Brittany.
Another one.
With Brittany too. Hold on, because y'all finna get mad. I've been telling Lee all week, I think Brittany can win the game, and I do.
You agree, Donnie?
I mean, it's too early to tell, but like, I don't see her. She can't. I mean, I don't think she's gonna fully lose the game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm gonna be for real. I'm gonna be dead ass. I genuinely think Brittany can win the game because I feel like of the people in the. Let's be honest. This is a weak ass cast. A lot of people are passive. Brittany. One thing Brittany is not is passive, and I think that could help her.
She did allow Joseph. It's really Joseph the reason why this Alyssa thing didn't happen because. Mike and Brittany already knew that they needed to protect themselves, and Taylor said, "I'll put aside my revenge this week because it's best for the alliance." Britt and Mike for the following week, and Brittany let Joseph basically talk her into. And Nicole helped as well by being a terrible, terrible, terrible social player. Nicole really, really made Brittany feel like complete shit this week and said some really ridiculous things. That got caught in a whole bunch of things. So
Weird.
That helped. See, this was an emotional. Getting Nicole out was an emotional move. I need y'all to realize this. It was emotional. And so, especially for Brittany and Mike. So I think she allowed herself to be snowed. And that's why they didn't have enough balls to say what they really wanted until all the wine was broken out until at the last midnight hour. And it's like,
it's too late now, babe.
If it was really about her shit, she would have been speaking up because the only thing she had to do was go to Joseph and say, look, help me. And bam, Joseph would have been on his little cap. You know, he a little narky. He like being to save a home. And he would have went and he would have made sure that they were protected going into next week by getting Alyssa out.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree with everything you said. And I just want to talk about the Nicole thing because honestly, the reason I kind of don't fault her for that is because Nicole is I don't want to say the word. Nicole is a B word, low key. Like she's a very, very, very bad, terrible, horrible person. She was saying shit to Brittany face about Brittany, which is crazy. I really can barely even fault her for that. But honestly, I think when it comes to her position in the game, low-key is not that bad, especially since Kyle want to work with the whites. She's white. Also,
her and Joseph think he could.
That's the thing. The further in the game she gets, the less likely it is that she'll go home before Michael. The more weeks pass, Michael's gonna be the one who has to go. And if Brittany's still here, then Brittany can win. Also, not the game, the competitions have been more fair. So I don't want to say, since there's gonna be some men in the end that she might not win, because we really don't know. The comps have been a little bit different this season. So I'm gonna give Brittany a 5.5.
Yeah,
and
I mean, I think she's a decent player. I think her problem will be jury votes.
Yeah.
And
see, and that's
true.
This is not a normal cast. This is a very bitter, disgusting cast. So that's why she was talking with Taylor, like we should take each other to the end because.
And her knowing that makes me like her. Like she knows she need to take Taylor.
She really did help me out this week by growing because last week she really fairly pissed me the fuck off, even with the leftovers for me. I can't lie because she was still hating on Taylor, saying Taylor said she was so proud of me for winning veto.
That was weird.
That was so weird. Like, rant about it. It was like, okay, insecure heifer.
But that's my thing with Brittany. It's like I don't know. Like her gameplay is just very sporadic and all over the place and random, and then just in bursts. And then it's just I don't think that's going to last. Like that's why people don't want to work with her that much in general. They kind of want to use her, but work with as an actual face-to-face ally. I don't see that with her. And then also, I just think the longer she stays in this game, the more she's just going to spiral. I think her gameplay is just very chaotic, and sometimes it's all over the place. However, I will commend her because I remember at the beginning of this week when she was saying, "Oh no, Alyssa should just go." Like that's to make the most sense. I immediately ignored it because I'm like, anytime Brittany talks, she's just talking shit. But it's like, no, she was actually right. Alyssa needed to go. You know what I mean? It's just they honestly should have pushed that, and that really scares me because you didn't push that until last minute, and now it's not happening because that's activeness that you could have taken and didn't. So it's still a 4 for me for Miss Brittany because I really don't see it for her. But I do think she has room to grow. I do.
Care for her, baby.
I don't.
Right.
I really don't.
That's my winner pick, y'all. Diamante, what
that
you giving her?
explains the 5.5. Let me see. I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna give her.
Don't be fair. Fuck them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like,
Okay.
just this week.
Okay.
I'm gonna give her a 5 this week. I like
Okay.
that she apologized to Taylor. I like that she put it out in Taylor's head that like the possibility of a final 2 because of like I like the way she strategized. The reason why I would have given her 6, maybe a 7.
Ooh.
Had she spoken up a little more and stood firm. You're letting a 20, how old is he? 25 now, boy, like lead you around.
Ooh, no shade.
Your math ideas. Stand up for your rights in this new ass alliance that they needed you to pull off.
Hello.
Oh God.
And yeah. So next time, stand your ground. I knew
not next time.
Obviously, because I'm Diamante. This is what we do. But I was so upset they didn't fight for it.
How you feel about Daniel Diamante? Because I don't want to talk with him.
Yo, Daniel is literally demonic. Let me tell you why. He's literally the devil. Because, like, he's the devil. Because besides all the crazy stuff that he says and the disgusting things that come out of his mouth and how he hates Taylor with such,
passion.
I had a vision from God.
Please. What did he say?
Listen, this is legit. I told the GC about this like days before it happened. I said, look, going into this week, Alyssa and Indy gonna be on the block.
Okay.
Right? Because they have like the line's gonna put them, obviously they already talked about it. And Alyssa asked, it's got to go. I said, Cal is about to go and play Vito. This is before Vito picks were even decided, mind you. I think I said this on Thursday. Cal's gonna go and win Vito, and he's gonna leave Noms the same. What my brain did not picture, it didn't come to me. What the fuck Daniel gonna do? So he literally is working against the will of God.
Literally. Literally.
Literally. I get a message from the Lord, and you ruin the message.
Literally.
And mind you, even when it looked like Nicole was going, I'm saying, oh my gosh, they're making a bad decision. I still had that vision that no, Cal is not going to use the veto. So when I wake up on Monday morning and I read, they flipped last night while I was sleeping in the midnight hours. And I read Cal say he's going to have to do it even though he don't want to do. He cried in the mirror to himself.
Literally.
And then I read the next update saying Daniel saying hell no. I said, oh, he is working for the devil for real. And he has to go.
My thing is, I think low key, maybe God wanted Nicole out because Nicole is nasty. Like it's giving. Maybe God was like, you know what? I changed my mind.
That is what gives me peace.
Yo, this daughter is nasty. Paloma nasty ass out.
God gonna give you some choices.
Nasty ass
out.
Give
you some choices which way to go.
He's gonna give you some choices. You gotta choose. A Miracoon ass out. And who next?
Nicole out next.
Nicole. What rating you giving Daniel? Queen.
Oh, he put his own. He's getting a 0. What? He put his
I know that's right. 0 across the board.
Make an alliance with the outsiders after finding out he was the motherfucking outsider.
0s across the board.
All the signs point to Cal being this one selling out. This man, he deserves to be under the prison for being a weirdo.
Yeah,
100%. He's in jail. It's a 0 for me and it's a 0 for Lee.
I think honestly the most sad thing about all of this is that he has completely clocked the Leftovers alliance.
It's still a 0.
I was telling Twitter, it don't matter what Nicole and Daniel know because they're not going to be able to do shit about it. And they're not. They're not going to be able to do it.
This man is walking. I honestly think he feels like he's Derek Leviathan. I think he thinks he's Dan Giesling. I think that's what he honestly thinks he is. Like, it's scary.
No.
Oh God, a 0. Indy.
I just knew it was from the devil when I saw it, but I didn't want to judge by just a picture.
He honestly looks like a demon. Like if I had to imagine demon, I would think him with his little tendrils. Like he looked like
not tendrils. No, definitely looks dirty, nasty, and like he belongs in hell. Indy, nasty girl. I don't know what the fuck she was doing this week, but it was a lot of comments that I didn't like.
She has taken this game very personal.
Her hate is based on whether Monty talks to her or not.
Oh, and that's the gag.
No, because the first week when she started hating Taylor, because she thought Taylor and Monty had a thing. When she found out Monty liked Taylor and Monty went on that rampage, that's when she started defending Taylor. She started defending Taylor so much so that the girls wanted to boot her out of the Girls Alliance. So why is this hoe defending Taylor? And so now you see her back to her Taylor hate, and it's because Monty likes Taylor again, and they're friends again, and she peeps that, and that's why her venom has been especially. And Monty put her on the block in that Taylor. Oh yeah. Oh, in the beginning of the week. Oh yeah, she was heated.
She's a weirdo because the only reason why she think they had a thing was because they're both black. Like, you're weird, and she plays this very like. Sometimes she has these spurts where it's like, okay, maybe she's not all the way in the water. Like, she understands something that's going on, but then like her emotional side comes again, and then it's like. She cares about being in love with these people and being friends with these people. And it's just like, girl, this is not Big Brother Brazil. I don't know where you think you're at, babe, but you need to get it together.
When she saw Taylor, she said, oh, Taylor's lucky I haven't met. Mind you, she got a whole man back home practically.
Yeah. Oh
said,
God!
I got a man back home because I could have Monty if I wanted him. And what world, Indy? And what world outside of colorism? And what freaking world outside of colorism are you gonna get a man over freaking Taylor?
But that's why she's mad, because she knows she lied to herself. I will say the only positive for Indy game wise is that at this point, I don't think Alyssa and her will be nominated because Kyle's going to do his best to keep his white queen off the block. And I do think she's in a position to where people are not going to necessarily target Indy as much as the other girls. However, strategically, she still is worried about that. Yeah, she will. But she's still worried about everything else but the game herself. Yeah. So I think I'm going to keep her at a 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I had her at a 4.
For no reason.
Let me say why. I felt like Joseph and Monty were going to try to use her the way that basically Kyle is trying to use Alyssa a little bit now and trying to pull in Daniel. Now he weird. But anyways, I felt like outside of the alliance, Joseph and Monty were going to be like, we need to pull in Indy and maybe Jasmine, and we need to make sure that we bring them farthest as possible. Michael also said he wanted Indy in the final 3 with him. So I felt like Indy was going to get drugged to the end. She was never going to win the game, but I felt like she was going to get drugged to the end. But now she's being weird. So it's a 2. The fuck? She's crazy. And Diamante, how you feel?
I can't help but do that when I don't like people.
Okay, we good.
My nose twitch. I would give her a 2 as well.
It's 2. 2's on the board.
It can't be enough to vote with the house at the end of the day.
Yeah. If you're keeping Taylor, hey, I'll give you some grace.
I guess.
On to damn, I want to call this girl names. Jasmine. Koonsman. Jasmine. Oh God. Somebody else go ahead and say something.
Jasmine playing. Besides her social etiquette being completely trash, she's actually playing fairly well this week, I think.
I agree. I don't think Jasmine's a bad player. It's weird. It's really weird because I feel like Jasmine has good qualities that a lot of the girls don't have, especially in the position she's in. I think she's very aware. Like the fact that she knew immediately that Taylor was not going to go home, I feel like just that alone shows a self-awareness that a lot of the girls just don't have. Jasmine has always been, she has great reads. She's always been good at just noticing, I guess, social things, which is just interesting. But she's still in a bad position. She's still not in the majority alliance. She still has little to no allies. I will say, of the people not in the group, I feel like Jasmine's kind of the least hated by other people. Like, she doesn't have anybody beefing with her. Indy people don't like her.
Oh, Turner and Cal hate her, but yeah, that's about it.
Oh, they do.
Unless they need to target her next week for circumstance with the duos twist, I don't think she's going to be a target for anybody in jury because it's like, why take out Jasmine?
Yeah.
I have this weird feeling. I have a weird feeling I've been having that she's going home next. And low-key, I'll be right about my feelings. Hopefully. And if it wasn't for that feeling, I probably would have gave her a 3.5. But I'm going to give her a 2.5.
Y'all are so biased with this damn vote.
Because what you finna give her a 5? You finna give her a 5? She's not even in the majority alliance.
I'm not giving her a 5, but I would give her a 4.
I was thinking 4, but I feel like she's going home. She's getting 2.
Yeah, but you can't. You got to base it on this week. She's not home yet. Shit.
You're right. I'll give her a 3.
I think she's really good at peeping because just simply because she was raised in the South.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree because she really isn't doing
raised
that.
in the South, probably went to church, like all those petty people, like you peep all the tea and you go. And I know she was a big gossip, I just feel it. And she.
My biggest thing with Klansman is that I feel like no matter how long she's in the game,
how long she's what?
She's always gonna want to target Taylor. I feel like I honestly feel like when jury hits out of convenience, she's just gonna be like, "Well, Taylor's right there, and I just gotta go." I just feel like that is really her blind spot in the situation. And like even this week, like I think now that Amira is gone and Daniel is crazy, she kind of is the brains of that side. If there is a side, you know what I mean? I do think she has the most sense and the more gameplay out of all of them. It's just that her position is very lacking. And her immediate, I think, go-to is, okay, well, I want to be in the majority. I just want to be with the vote. She's telling that to Monty. She's telling that to Joseph. But at this point, Kyle is building his whole white army against that. So it's like, it's really dangerous for her. I think the best she could probably be at this point is likely a GOAT.
If it comes down to it, and it really becomes the whites versus the blacks at one point, I think she has the ability to be objective about game a little bit. And we saw that with Pooch and Taylor's week on the block.
But she scares me because she'll put her up. She'll put her up
now.
And I don't trust that. I just don't trust. So I don't know.
Not if there's like clear sides. If she needs Taylor as a number, she wouldn't do it.
For me, it's going to be a 3, same as last week. Because I just feel like she hasn't, if anything, she declined because she's even less out of like the main things that's happening. But I think it's not impossible that she wins another HOH. And it's not impossible that she can kind of get some more of a footing. It's just, as the weeks go by, it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, and they're getting really tired of that foot thing. So she needs to remember how to walk.
She needs to get up and walk, or she ain't going to be able to walk again. Like, you need to start doing physical activity. That ankle is going to be loose.
Salt having her ankle look like
sucking on pickles and sugar.
The Michelin Man, like girl.
Daddy Joseph.
25.
Who daddy?
25. Nah, Joseph.
I guess he is. He could be.
Joseph is weird because he has this weird like strategical sense. But also, people don't take him seriously, but also they do, and people be doing what he want, but also he's not in that good of a position in the alliance. Yeah. It's so weird because I feel like Joseph was one of the main reasons who was pushing the Nicole thing, and then they decided not to do it, but then it ended up happening anyways, and now Nicole's going home. But Nicole going home isn't necessarily the best because now Kyle is forming an entire group of white people against him. And because he's doing that, Joseph's position is just deteriorating bad because it's going to be either Monty or him seeming like out of the alliance first. And if Kyle wants Daniel Whiteass and Alyssa Whiteass to stay a little bit longer than the Coloreds, then Joseph is not in a good position.
I don't think he'll do it over Daniel. Kyle's very like...
But over Alyssa, maybe.
He's very stubborn. Like, he has the people that he likes and fuck with, and then those are his people.
His people.
I think Joseph's issue was he is not really good at managing people. He dictates and he talks at people. He doesn't really talk with people. And that's the reason why Joseph really fucked this week up for the alliance. If we really, really want to sit down and think about it, is because when Brittany, Michael, and Kyle at the beginning of the week wanted Alyssa to go, Joseph was like really not really hearing them out, and he was still just pushing on the Nicole, and he talks to you over and over again for like an hour, and then before you know it, you're like, okay, I guess I'm going to do what you do just so you can stop talking at me.
Yeah.
And that really messed up Kyle's trust. So you do all that, right? And then you flip back. And so Kyle's the one that started this ish, but now he's not in the room when they're planning. So now he really is feeling like at the bottom. And as soon as he felt like he was at the bottom, that he wasn't going to win the game, that's when the showmance happened. Before, when he thought he was in control, making an alliance, he was fighting off the showmance pretty hard. As soon as he felt like he was on the bottom, and that happened as the week went down, now we have Kyle acting out.
But it's like Joseph was doing all of this work, and the thing is, it's like it's not even helping him. Like Nicole and Daniel has clocked that all Joseph does is lie to them, and he's one of the main people who is keep pushing this. I'm just gonna throw Taylor under the bus. This is my go-to. Like, people can see through that now. Like, wake up. Like, it's time to do something else. And it's like, it's crazy because at first it was like, I was like, what is Joseph doing? Is he here for game? Is he here for anything real? And then it was like, okay, well now he's playing. And then within a week, it's like all that disappeared. It's like last week, everyone was calling these people like, oh my God, they're such great players. They're so this and this. And it's like, now it's like, well, 1 week later, and these people are showing y'all, hey, they
woke up and it's like, go back to sleep.
Yeah,
literally.
Go back to sleep, sir.
Yeah,
I'm sorry for waking you.
I feel like for me, I'm gonna keep him at a 5 because I just feel like, I mean, he's doing so much, but he's not going anywhere at all. And I do think with Kyle now building this army, it you know, it's gonna get real rough towards Jury, and if he's not able to get off this one-track mindset of how things are gonna go, he's gonna just flop out.
He is. I'm gonna give him a 4.5, bring him down a little bit. I just feel like his position is starting to slip. I also just feel like it doesn't seem like him and Monty are thinking long term. Like, what are you doing?
Well, they think the 7. They think the leftovers is long term.
I didn't get why they would want even.
It's not long term
for them. I didn't get why they would want Nicole out either, because that's a shield for them. Like Kyle, like even if he builds an army, he's always gonna go for Nicole before Monty and Joseph. Always.
Yeah, they wasn't thinking about
Taylor's always gonna go for Nicole over Monty and Joseph.
I think, and this is what I get from watching the leftovers speak. I think genuinely, Monty and Joseph are like in. They really appreciate this alliance because I think they don't. Most male players are like this. They don't like to play the alliance here, do this. They like to play a one-track game, kind of like real cool, calm, and collected. You know what I mean? So I think they're really into this alliance to the end. The issue is anybody else is, and that's going to mess them up because and Monty did this with Postpack. He will come back and tell Postpack everything. His mother's maiden name, social, all of that. And he's doing it now with the leftovers. He's coming and telling them everything he has. So he's like, I have Terrence, I have Indy, I have Jasmine. And instead of Kyle, this is an advantage. He's looking at this. Well, no, those are your people.
You have
those
the numbers, and y'all just try to get out my only possible number outside the alliance.
So it's like I do think I feel bad because I do think they're giving their all, but it's just, hey, I mean, it's not being reciprocated.
I'm gonna give Joseph
that's the game.
A 4.
Okay,
it's a 4 for me. I think he should have just sat down and ate some food. I think pre-jury, if you're safe for that week, you need to just sit down and lay in bed like Ozzy did. I think you just build your social connections, give input what you need to. But I think, especially with big alliances, everybody wants to be the leader. That's not smart. The leader always goes down with the ship. We know this. So it's, you know, it's he should have relaxed this week, and it would have made everyone else feel more comfortable and more heard. He's not a good leader because he's only 25. He's young. And no, he has ADHD like me. So like I have like a soft spot for him, but the answer is no.
Please, Lee, how you feeling about Kyle?
So Kyle MAGA has
oh my God.
No, because he was Kyle Black Lives Matter at first. He was doing good. I don't know what happened. So that's the thing. You never trust the Kyle and Big Brother. Big Brother Canada should have told me that.
Jerry.
But basically, here's the thing with Kyle. I see Kyle's logic. I see why he wants to kind of bring in numbers that are his. So I can't blame him for that at all. Yeah. I do think he's playing very smart in that regards. I was looking at him sideways because I'm like, why are you pushing Alyssa out so much? Alyssa, you can run her. She is only here for the big sister. Get it, okay? And run her to the end. And I think he's finally waking up to that. I mean, the thing is, he had to be kind of strong on into wanting it. At first, he didn't even
and that's the only reason why I'm blaming Joseph. Matter of fact, give him a 3.5. This dumbass, this idiot, he gonna sit there and every time Kyle said no, had concerns about Alyssa, he over here saying no, you can use her. We need to keep her. That was his pitch to Kyle to keep Alyssa this week.
Literally,
because you can get close to her, she could be a number for you. You can get information from her. So now at the end of the week, where he close to her. He can use her. He trying to get information from her. You mad? It's like, bro.
I think the best thing about Kyle's position is that he's still going to be safe no matter what. Like, no matter what. He's able to make all of these mistakes because mainly white privilege, he's going to still stay good regardless. Like, that's just always going to happen. He's always going to be one step ahead of the girls just on that alone. However, in this situation, I don't think necessarily Michael is just going to be down with a final four of Turner, him, Brittany, and Kyle. I don't think necessarily he's going to be able to get out this structure that Joseph and Monty have loosely built. Like, they do have a lot of numbers behind them. And Kyle is a very passive player at the end of the day. He's not going to push and prod too hard. So if his numbers that he's trying to get don't win, he could be screwed, because I don't think Kyle's going to have the balls necessarily to make the move himself. So I'm going to definitely bring him down a bit. I was skeptical up that high. Pharaoh forced me, but I'm going to bring him down. I'm going to say a 7.
His numbers from last week.
I'm going to say a 7 only because I feel like he's going to still be able to ride this high for a minute. And then if he is able to solidify this thing he's trying to do, if he's able to knock out maybe Jasmine next week, he can sneak Daniel and Jury. Or if he can, even if Daniel goes and he's able to sneak Alyssa in and they're able to win a few comps and take out some of those other numbers, I do think it can look up for him again. Because regardless, I think Monty and Joseph are going to see him as a close ally. So whether he ends up going with Alyssa and them, or he's end up staying with them, it's not gonna matter regardless. He's always gonna go to the end of this game. So I think I'm gonna say a 7 for sure.
What you think, Demonte?
I'm gonna give him a 6 this week.
Ooh,
simply because he got into a showmance. Like, yeah.
And
I give him 6 because he did fight in the beginning of the week. I will not forget. He fought to get Alyssa out. He won the veto as he was supposed to do. He was still on board to flip back. So I will give him a 6. I think he's trying to solidify Taylor's numbers. I think Michael is going to replace him in that Final Four with Taylor. But I'm happy that he's trying. I think that showmance is so bad for his game because those boys are going to want. Before they were saying Alyssa could slide and maybe get her next week or get her first in jury, but now, you know, Alyssa is on the same level, threat level as Daniel now, which may be even higher because once Daniel loses his final 2, he's a lone person. You always go for, you know, the duo. And I don't think he's going to have the numbers to protect Alyssa. And I think he screwed his game because he already planted the seeds to not be in a showmance to get Alyssa out. And he used it with like false things like Alyssa's like this mastermind and she's a big social threat you can't see, which is true. She is. Women like Alyssa make it far in this game all the time because you don't see them coming. They're not abrasive. Like Taylor loves her. She talks shit about Taylor all the time. Literally hates Taylor. But everybody feels like she loves. I mean, it was so bad that like even the Cookout Sidebar, like Nadia, our like speaker, our co-host, she always said, "Oh, Alyssa could be a vote for Taylor at the end because Alyssa is not as into it as the other girls." I'm just like, she is just being a white woman, y'all.
Yeah, literally.
How they social maneuver, they are they're able to be fake. They've been doing it for centuries. So like,
not centuries.
They're best. I think white women are the best Big Brother social maneuvers like ever. That's why I always say first.
No,
but he fucked up. So now he's trying to flip back and act like Alyssa's not a big threat, and it's too late. So the showmance he shouldn't have gotten into, or he should have just been in it from the beginning. You know,
y'all finna call me crazy.
Oh God,
he gonna I ain't gonna white man.
I ain't gonna give y'all the rating, but I will say,
give us the rating.
No, I'm gonna give it to you last. I agree with what you're saying about the fact that Alyssa. I was even telling Lee the other day, I was like, I could see if Jasmine win HOH and they need to save, like if the twist is over, Jasmine win HOH, they need to save the alliance. They might tell Jasmine, girl, there's a showmance right there. Put up Alyssa and go if we gotta do. And if Kyle gets on the block, that's not, you know, you're all the way nominated, Buki, against your showmance that you just created. However, I do think Alyssa Bird ass staying. Now that's a plus because if Alyssa oops winning HOH, oops, it's luck. They haven't done the little whoop, it's a luck. We just throw the ball in the air. If Alyssa wins a comp, that's good for Kyle. I also think Kyle forming the white brigade against the black people is really also going to benefit him because
I call it the black people. Those are not really the black people.
They really not because Joseph isn't. Whatever. Kyle forming the alliance of non-coloreds. No, I think
about the alliance is what I want Taylor. I want Taylor in the alliance. Like I want Taylor. So this is why
me too.
How too much grief is because it's the alliance we all want Taylor and Mike Turner.
Yeah, I'd be fine.
That's true.
So
that's literally true.
Why we follow him?
But as of now,
Until Taylor's in it. Until Taylor is in it.
But no, honestly, Kyle
making is the color in it. But I'm like, but everybody else ain't. So it's like
we gonna wait till she get in, and then I won't, and then we'll keep it cute. But as of now, Kyle making an alliance with Turner, Kyle making the final two with Turner. That was the most work within the leftovers anybody has done since it started. Making that final two.
Taylor this week made a final three with Mike and Britt.
That's true, and Brittany and Taylor also made a final two too.
Yeah, like a loose final two. Yeah.
A loose final two.
Look at you trying to get it all the Kyle. Caught your ass.
And then also him making the final four with Michael and Brittany. That was good work. I think he put in a lot of good work for the end game because it might literally get him the win. This might get him the win. Him doing this, so I really do like that from him. Alyssa staying, I like it. Nicole going, I kind of like it. So. For Kyle specifically, just because Alyssa stayed. So I like that for him. I also think him thinking further in the game before anyone else is also smart. Him being afraid of Monty and Joseph. I mean,
what you giving him? What you giving him?
So I'm gonna give him an 8.5. I'm bringing him down.
Tapping down.
You love him. You love you some cows, Daddy.
I don't even like him. I don't even like him. I don't think I'm capping. I think
the reason why. Oh, another reason why his final four is how it is because he already had before the leftovers was formed. He already had Mike and Britt in his final three.
That's true.
That's true.
Which he made.
MAGA charges. He gonna beat the MAGA charges because he already had them in his final three.
That's true.
You're right.
And on top of that, Kyle low key finna help Taylor get the win. So I'm finna give him.
If Set Alliance
that's why we
Taylor
need
safe,
and another reason why it's messed up that he did the showmance now. He should have waited until next week, until after final noms and jury started, because now Alyssa's threat level is going to be even. I think.
Yeah, they might get her ass out next.
It's going to be even higher than Daniels, because you don't want a showmance in jury because that's
in jury. She's already going to vote for him. Exactly. Yeah. Let's probably go on next, low key. Low key.
Vote together.
I also think, though, I will say, I don't think certain players like Michael and Brittany, they're not dumb enough to take Kyle to the end. I don't think. Like,
they're gonna take
Kyle is very likable. Everyone knows Kyle is. I'd vote for Kyle. Shit, I'm not even.
I'll vote for right now.
So it's just like I don't think he's as safe as it seems.
I will say, I think it's dumb as fuck for Kyle to want Michael in his in-game plans. And I think he really does want him in his in-game plans. Michael's the main nigga who can win comp. Like, he's targeting Monty and Joseph. Monty and Joseph ain't won shit. Monty just won a luck HOH, low key. Like, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and bring him down to an 8.
Monty's a stronger social threat.
Yeah.
And
that don't matter because I feel like even Michael could win a jury vote over Monty.
But that's what I was saying earlier.
Monty can form an army against you. Monty already kind of low key has.
That's true.
And he's genuinely just not threatened by Michael. He's more threatened by on the game level Joseph and Monty because they are.
I get it.
Ever.
Yeah,
literally.
That's another thing.
I've never seen it.
That's like he won 3 videos in a row, and no one's like, "Oh my god, he has to go." Kristen Birkenberger won 2 comps in 1 week, and they were like, "Oh my god."
And that's the best big brother. The game comes like a big, strong alpha, looking like he's an alpha because he's not. Like Monty. You know, he looks big. He looks like he can win in game comps. Like, you're gonna want to go with the skinny.
His skin is a little darker. You'd rather go with the lighter person. No, I'm fucking with y'all.
I will say,
and the reason why he's not really that cool, because I think first week he would have taken Monty, but Joseph snatched Monty up.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it was Kyle and Monty at first. But I will say,
Kyle dropped Pooch with a quickness.
Yep. He did not want to be with that boy.
He said he was like, "Yeah, we gotta get Till out." He was like, "Okay, cool dude." And then he kept
voted his ass out.
Oh yeah, I need to be with this Monty kid.
But that's why I do want to make it clear: if he does do that and it's all Caucasian at the end, I don't give a damn because. Jasmine,
those are the only he in alliance with the only people that I would want to see win this game. That's the craziest.
Period. And Taylor's gonna.
I don't give a damn about Monty.
I mean, with Taylor.
Yeah, no,
I'm good.
Because the man people talk shit about her was Koonsman, Coons,
Joseph called her a
and Coonty, and Joseph must have slamming the door on her face. So All of them can lose. Honestly, I just hope Taylor isn't included in the blacks. So when they talking to blacks,
the only white king here, let it be known, is King Turner every day.
I'm gonna be honest. No, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. This season, if the blacks get targeted, just keep Taylor out of it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, we're good. Get Monty ass out.
Just keep her out of it, and we're good. You have my approval. You have my stamp of approval. I don't care if they go out in a row. Just keep Taylor out of it.
Monty, Jasmine, Monty,
Terrence, and then
Terrence in a row.
Taylor
and then skip all the way and get the rest of the list out, and then Taylor wins.
Go ahead,
Joseph. Okay, Michael. The girls. This is my opinion on Michael. I feel like the girls overestimate Michael a little bit much, but I don't think Michael's in a bad position. I don't think he's playing a bad game necessarily. I just feel like he's not necessarily an active player. Like, he knew, like, day one of this week that Alyssa needed to go.
Yep.
And he did not do much about that at all. It was very important for Michael over anyone in the leftovers for Nicole to make it to jury, because Nicole was voting for his ass. But and he knew that, and he did not put in the work at all, I feel, to even make it happen. I feel like even Brittany was just a little bit more vocal to him about it in the first place. I feel like he was just a little bit too passive about the situation, and I don't like that. That just shows this whole time he's been passive. Back to miscongeniality. Like, you can't be doing. I'm just saying, like, you can't be playing this game so passive, because Kyle is trying to get a one up on your ass, and what are you doing? Kyle just said, Alyssa's staying, right, Michael? And Michael said, yes, sir. Like, come on, sir. Like, get a little better with this. Like, when they had their conversation about this new alliance, Michael should have immediately, well, we don't know what he's going to do yet, but I feel like Michael should be like,
No, Alyssa can't stay.
But Michael hasn't really made deeper connections with the people he needs to. The fact that Jasmine is more of a Monty minion, that could have been Michael person. Michael was in the, like, girls group. Like, he wasn't in it, but he was talking to the girls a lot more than these boys. And now these boys are running the girls. Why does Joseph run Indy and Monty run Jasmine? And now Kyle has Alyssa. Who do you have? These were the people you could have had. And I really don't like that for his game. I still feel like he's in the end game, most likely. I feel like him going with Taylor and Brittany is beneficial, because the girls do not like Taylor and Brittany. So he can definitely still win this game. Mm-hmm. I still think he's in a better position than damn near everyone. However, that activeness is a little lacking, because Kyle is passive as hell and still more active than him, which is weird, because Kyle is passive as hell. So it's like, I'm going to give him, Nicole going home, not good. Alyssa staying's not good for him. Yeah. I'm gonna give him
Alyssa down. I mean, Michael's down bad.
I'm gonna keep him at a.
It's a 5 for me.
I'm gonna keep him at a. I'm gonna keep not a 5 for you. I think I'm gonna keep him at a 7, because I still.
You are so generous.
No, I still think he could literally easily win. I think if anyone was gonna win, I don't like that band. I think if anyone's gonna win, he's still gonna win. I genuinely think Michael's still probably gonna win the game. Period. So I don't know. I just feel like I have to give. He's not in a bad position at all.
I don't know why they believe Michael gonna win.
I think
he's not in a position.
Michael, and honestly, and I just thought of this comparison. Like, honestly, Michael reminds me a lot of Josh from BB Can 10. Like, everyone wants to bring him in, everyone wants to work with him because they think they can use him to a certain extent, but he's so passive and he just kind of goes with things that I feel like, because he doesn't have any connections kind of outside of what's being brought to him, he's not going to be able to turn around and make some move to get him to the end and necessarily win. Like, he's always going to be surrounded by people who I think can necessarily beat him. And I feel like unless the game just kind of falls into his lap, which I will say it has been doing, I don't see him necessarily going to the end and winning it, because he just continues to just be this very, very passive player. I think I'm going to leave him at the 6, because I do feel like the position is still good. If he goes up next to Brittany, I do think he will stay. And, like, I do think he has so much room to make mistakes, because, like I said, people are going to continue to want to try to work with him. However, if he doesn't start extending those connections a little bit more, then he's not going to be able to get anywhere. Like, I mean, like, you need to have something with Jasmine. You need to have something with Daniel moving forward. You need to have something on your own with Alyssa, something on your own with Indy Moore. You know what I mean? Like, I just think he needs to really get more into it, because to me, it just seems like he's going to just let the game roll until, you know, he eventually gets out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I think Michael, I gave him a 5, and I'm just going to say it quickly because you guys basically hit all the really good points. Because you knew what you had to do this week. I could not believe that I did not see Michael say no. Let's protect ourselves and get Alyssa out this week. And it was really just Monty and Joseph that were for real against Alyssa going and wanting Nicole out. And
that's why I really can't give him a 7.
I can't.
Why give him a 7? I really.
I'm looking at you crazy. It's like
no, I really don't think I can.
For you, and you need Nicole is a shield for you, Michael. You have 3 motherfucking vetoes. Everybody hates Nicole. She's a shield for you as well. She's a guaranteed jury vote. You're letting a guaranteed jury vote go, and you let a potential showman stay, and now it's a full-on showmance.
Yeah, it's a 6.5.
Jesus. Oof.
How you feel about Monty, Diamond? Other than the fact that he's a coon.
I think Monty is in trouble a little bit, but not as much. I think he's not as much as Joseph. So I want to give Monty a 6. He did win HOH this week. So that's the only reason why it's over a 5 for me. Him getting Nicole out was dumb because he needed that shield. But he is building good relationships. He has Jasmine. He has, he had Indy
and Terrence.
He still really has Jasmine and Terrence. That's very important for his game. He built a better relationship with Terrence. Terrence kind of didn't like him that much, but Terrence is feeling a little better with him, which is really, really good. And Taylor and him are on good terms. But I can't give him anything higher than that, just simply because this is not this week.
It's not looking good.
I think I would be way higher on Monty if this whole Kyle thing wasn't starting, because he would be in a great position if Kyle was, loyal to the leftover. But clearly, since he isn't, that's not going to be a good thing for him, especially because Monty is a very one-track minded type of player. So I don't think he's ever going to even realize that Kyle is not necessarily on his side until it's way too late, which is a big issue for him. I do think that because he is a good social player at the end of the day, that because he has so many connections like Jasmine, like Terrence, like potential Indy, I don't think Taylor's going to turn on him necessarily, honestly. And then I don't think necessarily Turner will either. It's going to be hard to get him out. He's not going to just be able to get him out and bloop that's the boat right there.
I think he stays over Joe.
I do too. So for me, I think it's going to be a 5.5, a little bit higher than last week because I gave him the 5. I don't want to go too high because I just don't think that he's necessarily seeing the game in full. I said, Kyle, for me, I think Kyle and Michael are in kind of good positions because they've at least realized there's some other game other than the leftovers going to 7. And for me, Monty does not seem like he's on that train at all. He literally said this week, if I have to go down on the sword for this alliance, I know I'm good because
there's always two games. I'm happy about that. There's always the alliance making it 2, just the alliance, and then the game within the alliance. And with the game within the alliance is very similar. It's given Tiffany.
Ooh.
It does look like Monty's probably going to be the first person out of that alliance. I like that he has those bonds with Terrence. I like that he has the bond with Jasmine and a little bit Indy. I think that is going to bring him far. But baby, Kyle is clocking that. Within the alliance, he has a bond with Taylor, but if he don't build nothing with Taylor, it doesn't matter because Taylor is locked in with Michael and Brittany now. So it's like you created this bond with her, but you didn't lock it in. You don't even have a final 2 with Joseph. If Taylor decides, let me make a final 2 with Joseph, Joseph might be like, well, it's not necessarily looking good for him, in my opinion. He didn't have anything locked in with Kyle, which made Kyle like, well, I'm going to lock it in with Turner. Monty don't have nothing with Turner. All Monty has is the Pound, who is not even going to be loyal to the Pound anymore because Kyle and Turner are not probably going to be loyal to Michael and Brittany. So it's not good for him in that sense. I like that he has these outer connections, but if the plan is to get out the people not in the leftovers, which is his plan, then you're not even going with the plan that's best for you because, baby, Terrence and Jasmine should be in the game for your game. So I'm going to give him a 5, and we'll see how he does next week with his coon act.
Let's want Joseph to win next week. HOH.
Oh, that would be next.
Because we don't need Kyle and Alyssa in that damn HOH room.
Yeah, I do not need that. I really, and also I don't want whatever Kyle is trying to build to solidify a little bit more. No shade. That's a personal thing.
Yeah, and if you win HOH, it's definitely going to be solidified.
Don't want it.
And Taylor will still be in the middle of that, so that's just beautiful.
Taylor is good, and that's why I'm good.
She's good.
Taylor is good, and so I'm great.
Daniel could win HOH next week, and I won't care because either way, Taylor's not going home.
Period.
You're not going to put Indy and Alyssa up after the blind side anyway, so just shush.
That's the thing. So just keep it cute, sister.
Mother is safe regardless.
This next person does not exist. After
that's another reason why I wanted Nicole to motherfucking stay, because I'm like, Taylor gonna be safe regardless. Nicole can't get Taylor out.
Literally.
Yeah, Nicole is a 0. Does anybody have anything to say?
No, it has to be a 0. She literally got the opportunity to get off, not go on the blind by the HOH.
It's a 0. We don't even need to talk about her.
Let's get to the queen, period. Now, last week, I gave Taylor a 7, and that's because I felt like Taylor's position was just increasing and increasing. And honestly, this week, shit, I feel the same way. There is this new group forming that doesn't yet have Taylor in it, but Taylor has a final 3 that she made with Brittany and Michael. That's solid. I know for a fact Michael and Brittany would rather take Taylor than any of these other people, so that's already good. Her and Brittany are forming a loose final 2. That's great for Taylor because the only person Taylor can beat is Brittany because the girls hate Brittany randomly. So that's also really good for Taylor. I also think Joseph and Monty do like Taylor a little bit. I don't think they'll like target her or want to get her out anytime soon. I think if they make it to the 7, Joseph is going to link up with Taylor. I feel more than he'll link up with a lot of the other people, Michael and Brittany. So I think Taylor's really kind of insulated. Kyle even likes Taylor. And in my capping for Taylor, I am. The only issue is Jasmine's dirty, nasty ass, Indy's dirty, nasty ass. They have this weird little thing. And I would hate for oops of HOH goes to them. And they're like, I guess I can just get out Taylor because But I don't think Taylor got I don't think they have the votes.
They're not, yeah, they don't have the votes.
I don't think they do.
Can't get her out. They're not gonna want to even get her out.
Yeah, that's not even good for their game. It literally would be horrible.
As soon as she survives this week,
she should be so good.
She's going to be in the same group as Indy. But even after that, and when I get to jury and there's no more duos, there's bigger fish to fry. And I don't know about Indy, but I know for Jasmine, for real, we saw it with the Pooch and Taylor week when she hit was at her. That was week 2? 2. She hated her Taylor. She was at the height of her Taylor hate, and she was okay with it enough to make sure that Pooch left. I'm thinking Jasmine is going to not want to touch Taylor until the bigger fish are fried.
And I can say that for Jasmine because it wasn't even just it was even Amira was like, we can get out Taylor next, and Jasmine was like, get out Taylor next. So it's kind of like I'm like maybe
y'all trust in Klansmen way too much for me. I do not.
No, it's because Jasmine is very.
She's not stupid. Let's be real. Black people are smart. Black people are smart.
I ain't dumb. Like Jasmine ain't dumb. Like.
She's still black at the end of the day. She know what the fuck is up for real. That's my thing.
She's not a dumb person at the end of the day. Like I feel like black people, we are still. I don't know, Davon.
We got that natural sense.
The rest of us, we know.
No, Davon, did you say Davon? She did.
We know 12 billion times. Like I can't. Everybody else got sense enough to know that you got to do what you got to do at the end of the day. And Victoria, I will never forget you.
She's so weird and nasty. I hate that dirty ass bitch and that dirty stiff ass weave. I'll never like her.
You Vic, you listen. I actually kind of like Vic now. I don't like that bitch. She was just young and dumb, young, dumb, and insecure. I would be mad at that bitch like Toya. Y'all watch Feeds? Right. I was just watching like
that was my girl. I'm gonna give Taylor a 7, and I'm keeping it there.
I would give her a 7 as well. I think her only flaw is revenge. She
she is.
And the fact that she's going around the house telling everybody geniality. Like, girl,
why keep leaving?
Sit down.
My bad.
I'm
nervous.
Now I feel bad. But
be real.
I'm gonna keep her at a conservative 6 on my end, just because I feel like with Taylor,
that's valid.
What I'm scared about is just that she's not none of her in-game plans are being solidified, and I personally do not trust Jasmine, Indy, or Alyssa, any of them to have sense. And also, too, like I kept mentioning, she is one of the players that's really benefiting the least from this pretend cookout strategy because since they're not doing the pawn thing, I kept mentioning. Her name is being thrown out there, and there's not going to be someone she can sit next to when jury hit that she's going to necessarily stay next to. And that's my fear. I do feel like I want to see her more included in some of the, I feel like, in-game alliances that I'm
she
not
needs
too
to stay
sure
away
about
from Monty
yet.
and Joseph. And Joseph, yeah,
Joseph is in love,
the
Loki.
reason why they
Because he
get
stay on
together.
her.
It's really Taylor's fault. I can't say that enough. Taylor is telling everybody she's Miss Congeniality. That's not good. This is a social game. You're telling everybody that 50 women thought that you were the nicest girl.
Yeah, I was like, that didn't make it. And then they voted.
And then voted for you, girl. And she keeps saying it over and over again. And I think she's letting her need for revenge cloud her because she doesn't see Alyssa as a threat. She wants Indy out. And it's like, girl, you had beginning of this week, you had Cal wrapped around your little finger. By the end of the week, Cal's hands was wrapped around Alyssa's hair, and he was making out with her. So now Alyssa don't have her. So you lost your DX, basically. It's basically like I really look at Cal this season as the DX. He's basically, if Claire would have stayed in the game, well, if Claire was Alyssa and was pushing up on DX, it would have been the same thing played out. Like, let's be honest. So that's the only difference is his showmance. But I think Cal is kind of like the little DX, and he really like Taylor was the first person he told about Daniel coming to him, wanting to start an alliance with him, Nicole, Alyssa, and them. Like Taylor was the first person. She really had a good, strong bond. That bond is now to shits.
It's going down.
And you don't even see Alyssa as a threat.
No.
Secretly, like at least in your head, you're as a threat. Even if you say, because it's not really smart, I don't think, for her to go around saying she wants Alyssa out because of that showmance. She needs to act like she's pro showmance just in case the showmance wins. But at the same time, in your head, to the cameras, you should be viewing Alyssa as a big threat. And you should have not looked at revenge and saw her as a threat this week. Because if I'm Taylor, I'm like, this little white boy, he really is real emotional about keeping me. Let me make sure that he stays this big. Let
me lock it in.
Me, and he doesn't get that emotional with the other girl that he's avoiding right now.
I feel bad because I feel like this happens to Taylor because genuinely I think she's just such a pure soul that she sees these people at face value. Like, I don't think she realizes that there are so many other ulterior motives. Like, she doesn't realize how hated she still is.
They always see the good in people.
So yeah, I just feel like that's what sucks, and that's what's probably going to be another downfall for her. That I don't think she's going to realize when she needs to turn on certain people because she doesn't realize who her real enemy is. That's been her biggest thing, I think, throughout the season. She never really knows who her enemy is because everyone kind of lies and bullshits and gaslights her.
Yeah.
And she's still going to win with all of that, which is why she's a 7
giving her
right
7
now.
because she's surviving this week. She's
going to win. She's going to win. I should give her a 10. I don't know. Next is Terrence. Now, last week I was playing in Terrence's face by giving him that 1. Honestly,
he was nominated.
Terrence survives the block, plays up being blindsided like the best I've ever seen acting wise. And you give this man a 1.5.
Yeah, we was playing
it last week. I stand by it.
No, listen, we were playing for giving him that 1. I feel like we was really
for that. No, I was not.
I was playing in his face. So this week, I do think I'm gonna give him a 1 again. He's shit for real.
My God. Shut up!
He ain't doing nothing for real. He ain't doing nothing for real. It's gonna be
a 1. Since Diamond feels Diamond, you plead your case first, and because I do want to hear her. I want to hear her case today.
I'll say neutral. Go ahead.
I was gonna go higher anyway. But I do want to hear her point.
The only time I was biased through I just want everybody to know, disclaimer, the only time I was ever biased on this rating was when I ranked Taylor at 7 because she really deserved a 5.5. But that's one. But I want Terrence is playing a really good rat floater game.
Really good?
Yeah. Oh my God, excellent.
Oh, girl.
Black. I think if he was a white old man, he wouldn't be as grouped as much. I think he gonna be on the majority side of this damn vote,
regardless.
He Monty wants to drag him. Taylor, he has a strong relationship with everybody in that house. He has a pretty good relationship with, except for Indy. Everybody else, think about it. Everybody else he has a really good relationship with. Everybody else, like, there's nobody else he doesn't have. And
so which one rate him? Because I'm scared.
And Michael and Cal, I will say that. But Terrence knows what to say. He's really good at mirroring. So everybody thinks that they don't know where his vote really lies because he's so good with talking and they believe him. He's really good at playing that part. And nobody's targeting him.
I actually agree with everything you're saying.
Terrence. Because even I'm thinking, even with the leftovers, if Terrence is on the block next to Joe and Monty, Joseph might be going.
That's a
Kyle can flip it really quick.
Wait, okay, so what you gonna rate him? Because I'm scared.
I rate him a 4.5.
Okay, no, I actually agree with everything you said. I genuinely think he does do really well in conversations, and I didn't really think about that initially, so I'm glad I let you talk because he does do really well. He was literally talking to Monty today. Well, he always talking to Monty, but even whoever he talks to, they really feel like they can work with him, trust him. Even back in the day, Turner and them was wanting to work. Like people like Terrence the way that he talks to them. So I do think I agree with what you're saying. He also is playing that.
He doesn't have an alliance.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only issue because he does have a great rap floater like situation. He always feels like people feel like they can use him. Like he's being used by the leftovers. And Daniel was also like, we got Terrence. And it's like, you don't, sister. So I think that's really good too. So with all that being said, I'm still gonna give him 1. He's still ain't doing shit for real. No, he's still not doing shit for real. Like, I agree.
I think
he's not on the block.
No, one is a lot. I'm gonna be for real. I'm gonna give him a 3.5 for real. Dead ass.
Yeah, okay.
Dead ass.
And then I think I want to give him a 3 just because I feel like
give Indy a higher score than Terrence though. Like, what world? Maybe Indy deserves a 1.5.
You're right. No, that's why I was playing in his face.
I definitely think Terrence is a 3 because I do hear exactly what you're saying about the mirroring and things like that. It's just like for me, I do think there's 2 sides of it, and I feel like socially he plays really, really well in the mirroring and making line to people and playing things up and making people thinking he's with them. But strategically, I just feel like I don't think it's just there all the way. He's not in any of the main power conversations. I don't think he's ever going to be. And I don't think he's making any moves to get to that point. Like, it's a difference, I feel like, between kind of playing the cards that's given and kind of dealing. He doesn't.
Not everybody has to be in alliance. I think older people don't usually get into the majority alliances, right? Like, just in general. Like,
but I'm thinking
I see what you're saying though, because I
think he needs to let the young people fight, and I think he needs to go under the radar. He has to play an under the radar game, where nobody is viewing him as a threat. Like he's not coming to people with ideas. He's listening and reflecting what they want to hear back. I think when the war breaks out, Kyle's not going to target Terrence before he targets Monty and Joseph.
But at that point, it turns into. But for me, at that point, it turns into win equity. Like, is he going to actually beat any of these people?
But then, if he's not winning comps, you know what people start to view you as? A GOAT. Yeah. Because you want to be playing in that final.
But final 2 not enough.
He's going to be at 3 and final 2 as well.
You want to be playing in the final 3 HOHs with a Terrence.
Yeah, but
I think he survives the beginning of Jury. The war breaks out a little early.
Look, Diamond, are you saying he's playing the other strategy?
Final 3, final 2. Yes, he could.
Are you saying he's playing the other strategy? Are you claiming that Terrence is playing the other strategy?
Y'all think that was Oz's game?
Well, I think Oz's game was low key. I think Oz's game was low key, and then she got to the end, and she was like,
"There's different types of under the radars, but." I would let it be known, since we bring up Ozza, Nicole cooks, and you see her ass is still going, right?
And that
because she cooked, baby.
Well, I also will say that kitchen is very dirty and have ants. BB23 didn't have ants.
Dirty half of them.
Oh my God. I have to make an edit in one of my ratings. Because we have diamond capping today, I've realized that I have to cap a little less in order for me to feel comfortable with the accurate ratings. So I will be bringing my good sis Taylor down a little bit to a 6.5.
You phony! That's what it is.
Use it because usually it wouldn't be 3 ratings, so it would be my 7 and Lee's 6. It would average to 6.5, but now you hear it, so we got to get the average down to 6.5. So that's where it's at. No, Diamond's bestie Turner, Dirty Turner.
Let her be for her man.
Go ahead, get your cap out the way,
Turner.
God.
Always trust little dirty weird white guys like Turner. I promise you.
Please don't though. No.
I went to boarding school in the middle of Virginia.
So this is a biased feeling about Turner because you met somebody.
And I always made sure that I was friends with like the weird off-campus kids.
Now we know why.
Because if the school ever got shot up. Okay.
I was not expecting that. So now we know why Diamond is biased. This is gonna be her second bias rating.
They know they can't be. So the reason why it's always bad when people are insecure playing Big Brother is they always want to be part of like the clique, like what they didn't get in high school. Like we saw Jess and BB Ken 10.
How Daniel did it.
How they wanted to be like. As soon as Jess got power, they wanted to be
and with the cool kids,
right? And it fucks up the whole game. Turner knows who the fuck he is. He does not care about any of those people fitting in, blending in with anybody. He's gonna be himself. He rides with the people he rides with, and he rides with Ozzy now. So I'm gonna be team him. So I think Turner's like one of the besides Taylor. Turner is the most genuine person in the house.
So what's that score?
Oh, this week he played great. You know why? Because Turner minded his business and sat his ass down somewhere. Turner is what you do when you're safe. You chill. He was in nobody's face pushing no ridiculous ideas. He went with the flow, even when it got hard. So I'm gonna give my baby a 7.5.
Oh, she is tapping down.
Turner played the best week.
Let me give him a 1 to offset this.
No one's getting Turner out.
Y'all giving Indies 2s instead of 1s. Y'all giving Jasmine 3s instead of 4s. You gave this man a 7.5.
Okay, how? Okay, listen. How not? Why would I not give him a 7.5? He's in he got a final 2 with Cal.
That's true.
Cal wants him in the final 4. He's in the pound. He's in the majority alliance, the leftovers. Nobody on the side is even looking at Turner next week.
That's true.
Now, which one of these things did he? Which one of these things did he initiate? Which one of the things that he?
Don't matter.
It does matter. It does.
Everybody can't initiate. Everybody can't be the leader of the group.
Be the leader of his own game.
The smartest players are the players that know when to speak, when to win, and when to shut the.
He don't even know when to shower, Diamond.
That's his behind up. It's week 4. It's week 4.
It is week 4. It's early.
He was playing with Taylor did last week. He sat up there because, mind you, he was like depressed a little bit, and he kind of took him out of the game in week 2. So he was just getting all the information, soaking it up last week. And he did not go and run his mouth about it. And he's letting all the information come to me. He's letting everybody fight. Everybody's mad at Joseph for pushing shit.
That's true. That is true.
Turner. And y'all
Turner does not have the brain cells to push things, David.
On the under the radar games, because those players win this game almost.
That's true. And that is what I was saying about Alyssa.
Can't be the big boss. If I'm ever playing Big Brother, you won't even know. You won't even see me. I'll be like, I didn't have an idea. We're in the house together. Best believe you don't think Diamond came up with any of these ideas, but make sure they got carried out. You don't cut your speech and what you did to the end. And I think Turner he doesn't have a big ego. He's very chill. And I think he is going to go to Final 4, period.
I'll say this about Turner, and I said this last week when I gave him the 5.5. I said the one thing about him is that I do think he has a chance to win. I think he has a really good chance to win this game because he has a pretty mellow personality. A lot of people like him. However, personally for me, I just do not think he is active enough in putting himself in any of these positions for his own game. I just feel like the reason why he's sitting back is because he doesn't want to do anything. He's just like, he is just sitting there chilling.
Is Alyssa coming for him? No. Is Nicole coming for him?
But the thing is, it's not like he's not doing anything because he doesn't have to. He's not doing anything because I don't think he has the game sense to, is my thing. That's just my observation.
However, I do think he's in strategic. I feel like everybody.
Well, it's not even about being strategic. It's about talking to people.
It's about not being a target and making it to end. Let's be real. And he's not a target, and his ass bit his ass in several.
I just don't think he know what game he's playing. Right? That's my thing.
What you rating him?
For me, I'm gonna keep it at 5.5. I think that he's still in a great position.
That's fair.
I think he still has a chance to win. It's just for me, I feel like he's just in the clouds. Like people have to tell him things for him to be like, okay, well, I guess this is what I'm doing now, and I don't like that. I do think he can win, but if he win. To me, if he wins, he'll be a 5.5 winner. I don't know. Like,
he knows he gotta go.
And hopping off of that.
Well, unless his master Kyle say differently, I fear.
I don't know. Child. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a fan of Turner.
We see.
I do feel like Turner is not that girl, not that guy.
I gave him a 4.5 the week he won HOH and saved the season. Fuck y'all.
And no, and okay, listen. Basically, the reason I gave Turner a 4.5 is because I agreed with Lee. I felt like Turner could win this game, but I felt like Turner's activity in the game was very lesser. Turner was sitting up there in that HOH, and Monty and Kyle and Joseph was like, "You're not gonna put up Taylor, period." And he was like, "You guys sure? Because the house wants Taylor to go and do. And I feel like that was an indicator of how he is as a player, which is not there.
You can only judge him if he does it. He makes a move that's contrary to what's good for his game, and all these moves have no effect on his game or were good for his game. So I can't doubt him until he just goes along with a plan like Michael did this week. He went on with a plan that was not good for his game. So I can't doubt him until he actually follows through and goes on a plan. Because the
issue is Alyssa going wasn't good for his game because Alyssa likes Turner.
Yeah, but Nicole wasn't aiming for him. It was either or.
Nicole wasn't going after him. Nicole going after everybody else.
That's what I'm saying. Like this week didn't really matter that big
for Turner. Yeah,
for Turner, and it's like Alyssa likes him, but she's in the showmance with Cal. So long term,
she has no priority
for him personally to get Alyssa out, and he's gonna have to be dealing with. He don't want to go to the end with the showmance.
But that's what I'm saying. I genuinely don't think he's thinking about that. I don't think he's conceptualized any of these things. I think he's down for the ride.
Down for the ride. So with that being said, I'm giving him a 4.
Oh. Don't bring him down.
No, he was a 4.5 because he was HOH.
Oh,
he's a 4 because he's not the HOH. And with that being said,
I will say, considering everything you said, Dominic, I feel like I would definitely feel more strongly about it is if he won and he was like, "I'm not doing Taylor." If he said, "I'm not doing Taylor,"
I bet you he'll never do Taylor again.
That's the gag.
Child,
that's why he's gonna get my book. I really was gonna give him a 7, but then I thought about this little dude is never gonna do Taylor. Let me go throw that.
And you know what? Honestly, he deserves an 8 for that.
That's the only one I know for a fact ain't touching Taylor. That's the only one I trust.
Unless Kyle tell him to do, girl. I don't know.
Nah, he's not touching her. He said to the cameras, "I'd rather not win $150K if I'm gonna sit there and go with people that's going against my girl."
This list is giving accurate down despite all of the bias.
Gen Z don't fold like that. Not for the morals. Everything else though.
Okay, I'll put the girls in order. Let's start from the bottom. Actually, we got the bums, the dumbass
rat roaches at the bottom where they
Nicole
belong.
And both have zeros.
Double zero.
Right above them is
the bird Alyssa.
The bird of the week.
Alyssa has a 0.5. Then we got nasty ass Indy and nasty ass Jasmine right above. Indy got a 2. Jasmine got a 3.333. They ugly ass. Then we got Terrence.
Terrence, I'm sorry, baby.
You deserve that placement.
We'll definitely be there with a
3.667. Baby, you next. Don't worry.
And then we have, what is this, the 7? This is the leftovers.
This is the leftovers.
Then at the bottom of the leftovers, we got Joseph, who ain't doing shit. Brittany, who doing too much. Monty, who finna go home. Turner, who's not that girl. Then we have Michael, who's not that girl. Then we have the Queen, Taylor, and Kyle. Period.
It's cute. It's cute to see how the leftovers kind of change. So I feel like that's kind of like the shift in the alliance because Joseph and Monty are definitely towards the bottom, especially after this week with Joseph.
Definitely. So, period. We're done. The fuck? Anything? Anything y'all want to say? Anything y'all want to digress about? Now that we've been here for 2 hours. God damn. Shit. No, because it gets longer when it's more than the fuck 2 of us. Anyway, shit, we done. The fuck? That was the rating. Did you like it? Love it. Period. Check us out next week. We'll be making the ratings for the next week. And check us out for that other show, The Challenge USA or whatever. And that's it. We out, y'all.